The movie starts with a woman named Kirk searching for her lost piglet in the woods. Meanwhile, a man named Sam is driving in a foreign country when he sees a man walking by. He stops to ask if the man recognizes a picture, but the man doesn't speak English and doesn't know anything about it. Sam continues down a dirt path, but his GPS loses connection, which annoys him. Suddenly, the picture next to him starts floating strangely in the air. When Sam looks back up, he sees the lost piglet walking onto the dirt path, causing him to brake suddenly. After getting out of the car, Sam checks on the piglet, which is wounded and unable to stand. He puts it in the back seat and digs a hole to bury it, assuming it's dead. However, in the distance, a silhouette appears, startling Sam, so he picks up a weapon in defense. The silhouette starts screaming, and the piglet wakes up. Sam returns to his car with the piglet, and Kirk appears, scolding him in a foreign language for driving too fast. Sam says he doesn't understand, and asks if she speaks English. Kirk reveals that pigs are a source of income for them. Sam offers to take her home and explains that he's lost. During the car ride, the piglet constantly squeals, making Sam think it's in pain. However, Kirk insists it's happy. At their destination, Kirk releases the piglet to walk back to the barn. She prepares food and alcohol for Sam. Kirk asks where he came from, and he vaguely replies that it was a noisy place. Kirk shares her concern that no one is left in the area except pigs, and she may have to move to the city after selling them. Sam assumes she's excited to move, but Kirk denies this and says she wants to follow her mother's wishes. When Sam asks about a man named Ladzins, Kirk laughs and shakes her head. She sets up Sam's bed and assures him that her mother's spirit won't disturb him while he sleeps. Kirk offers Sam a place to stay as long as he likes, but she leaves before Sam can say that he has to leave in the morning. The next morning, Sam wakes up to find 3 people standing before him. He quickly gets up and covers himself as 2 men inspect him. Kirk tells her father, Gustavs, that she wants Sam to stay. Sam asks if anyone knows a man named Ladzins, and another man, John Cooks, shows interest in the name. But Gustavs corrects him, saying it's Lagsdens. When Sam asks where Lagsdens is, Gustavs mocks him, saying the foreigner looks harder than his skull. Sam asks Kirk to translate. Suddenly, Jan Cooks headbutts Sam, knocking him out. In the barn, the men chain Sam and talk about feeding him to the pigs. Gustavs claims ownership of the foreigner and says he'll do what he wants with Sam. Sam tries to move but is kicked in the face by John Cooks, who then screams in Kirk's face about what women are good for. Kirk leaves and warns John Cooks not to touch Sam. Sam weakly tries to chase after John Cooks, but the chain around his neck stops him. Jan Cooks watches Sam lying naked on the ground and imagines him with Kirk, then grows jealous because he wants to marry her. Kirk returns with a broom to clean near Sam, and Jan Cooks leaves after threatening him. Sam cries and begs Kirk to let him go. When she doesn't respond, he spits in her face and is beaten by Gustavs in return. The next morning, Sam wakes up bruised, bleeding, and cold. Gustavs and Kirk arrive with buckets. Kirk shows him the work he must do for the pigs, and tells him to do it in exchange for food. Sam tries to hide his private parts but slowly approaches the buckets. He kicks one over, causing Gustavs to charge at him, but Kirk stops him, suggesting they starve Sam so he learns a lesson. Gustavs threatens to feed him to the pigs if he misbehaves again and storms off. Kirk tells Sam he must obey to be happy, then follows her father. Later that evening, Sam wakes from a nap and sees a tray of food just out of reach. He tries to get it, but the piglet he saved gets there first and eats it. Sam throws hay at it to stop it, but gives up. If I were him, I'd eat that Peppa Pig for bacon. The next day, brothers Wilhelms and Marx enter the barn and notice the enslaved foreigner. Sam quickly asks for help, but they only watch him in amusement. Marx mentions how he and Kirk won't have to do much work now that Sam is there, and Jan Cooks appears. Wilhelms and Marx say they want to buy the foreigner and 8 pigs. Jan Cooks, who is Marx's son, protests, saying Sam is horrible and eats too much. They ignore him and try to bargain with Gustavs. Gustavs refuses to sell, saying Sam was sent by God. That night, Jan Cooks surprisingly frees Sam from his chains and urges him to run. Kirk spots them and chases after them, but Jan Cooks stops her and says Sam will only use her and destroy the farm. Sam hesitates about where to go while Jan Cooks beats Kirk. She fights back, saying she'll never be with him. They continue fighting until Kirk tricks him with a kiss and tackles him. Jan Cooks pins her down and threatens to cut off her nose, but Sam pulls him back with the chains and chokes him. They're interrupted by Gustav's firing a gun. Jan Cooks flees, and Kirk tells Sam that her father is grateful for saving her. Sam is fed and clothed, and Kirk says her dad now favors him. When Sam asks why she lured him into slavery, she says she never did. He offered her a ride home. Sam begins working in the barn and taking care of pigs. Gustavs arrives to replace his chain with a longer one, saying it'll get longer as he works harder so he can do more. He explains they need help, as Kirk is a woman and he's getting old, but Sam doesn't understand. Gustavs opens a door, and Sam steps outside into fresh air and morning light. Gustav shows him a new job, ending a pig's life for an upcoming party. Sam refuses. Gustavs demonstrates it, and Sam, disturbed, cleans up the bloody mess. He sees the piglet he rescued again, and it eerily says, "Mama," scaring him away. Back in the barn, Kirk bathes Sam to prepare him for the party. Sam, now clean and dressed but still chained, is brought to the event. Gustavs tells him to eat well because he deserves it, and proudly shows off his foreigner to the brothers. Marx hopes that his son can be as obedient as Sam and looks over at Jan Cooks, who's sitting alone in a corner. Kirk brings out a plate full of meat and sits next to Sam. Throughout the party, Sam gets drunk, and the guests dance to the music. Kirk drags Sam to dance with her while Gustavs watches from the table. Marx and Wilhelms bring food to Jan Cooks, who's sulking about Kirk and Sam. He tells his dad and uncle that they could have married him off to Kirk to get the farm. Marx knows Jan Cooks just wants it for himself, and Wilhelms orders him to get on all fours and bark like a dog. Jan Cooks obeys and starts acting like a dog, rolling on his back and receiving belly rubs from Marx. Marx tells him he has to be stronger to get what he wants, and the brothers walk away. In the middle of Kirk and Sam's dance, Gustav steps in and tells Sam that he doesn't deserve Kirk yet. Sam walks back to the barn and finds a dog, which he begins to assert dominance over by barking and getting on all fours. The dog turns out to be Jan Cooks, who gestures toward a nearby spot. Sam gets up and finds his car, now covered. He gets in but can't close the door because he's still chained. In the glove box, he finds some chocolate and takes comfort in the taste. Sam also finds the keys and turns on the car. The headlights flash, revealing Kirk watching him. She shouts that the foreigner is escaping. Gustavs, along with several others, drags him back to the barn. Sam is whipped in front of an audience, then left to bleed in silence. Back in the barn, Sam, now with a shorter chain, sits in pain. The piglet visits him, but Sam tells it to go away. It leaves, then returns with a pair of pliers, giving Sam hope. Outside, everyone's busy loading pigs into a truck when they realize they missed the piglet. Sam, now free from the chains, sneaks into the truck. On the road, he slams himself against the truck's walls, causing it to flip and crash. He runs off while Jan Cooks shouts at him to run faster. Meanwhile, at the farm, Kirk enters the barn with a tray of food for Sam. Seeing he's gone, she drops the tray and starts crying, alerting her father. Gustavs walks away, while Kirk wails at the thought of being alone again and returning to her boring life. Girl really had to capture a man to be with. She's an incel beta. Sam runs through the woods but falls into a pit and knocks himself out. He wakes up after dark and tries to find a way out, cursing his luck for being trapped in an even worse spot. In the morning, a rope drops into the pit, thrown by none other than the piglet. Sam is stunned and pulls himself up, thanking it. He even talks with the piglet, which helps him remove the metal chain from around his neck. Sam stands up to find all the pigs from the truck gathered. He leads the pigs through the woods until they reach the crash site in search of food. Kirk, missing Sam, clutches his underwear and reminisces about the time he was chained up and dependent on her. "I bet that underwear smells something fierce." She waits and hopes he'll return. Despite everything, Sam finds himself wanting to go back to Kirk. He walks through the woods and hears gunshots in the cornfield. The brothers and Gustavs are searching for the pigs and the foreigner, with Jan Cooks sniffing around on all fours like a dog. Jan Cooks spots Sam in the distance and smirks. Sam walks through the cornfield, only to be met with the barrel of Gustav's gun. Gustavs demands to know where the pigs are and promises to keep quiet if Sam returns them. Sam does not understand what is happening. The brothers catch up to him and shout at Gustavs to shoot Sam. The piglet tells Sam to run. Jan Cooks jumps at the gun. A shot is fired, and Gustavs is hurt in the leg. Sam carries Gustavs back home. He feels happy inside because he can be with Kirk again. Kirk cleans her father's wound. Gustavs holds both their hands and tells them he wants them to get married. The couple starts to be close, but a bright light shines through the window. They run outside and see the barn is on fire. Jenkins comes out with a torch and says he will hurt Sam if Sam touches Kirk. Jenkins says he will go back to school and wants Kirk to run away with him. Sam saves what he can from the barn. Then he finds Jenkins with Kirk and fights him. It was Marx and Wilhelms who started the fire. They make peace with Gustavs and pay for the damage. They even come to Kirk and Sam's wedding. Gustavs is happy to see them married, but dies that same night. The next morning, Sam wakes up and sees Kirk is very pregnant. He drinks some water and hears a door creak open. When he goes outside, he sees the piglet, now grown big. The pig says goodbye and walks away. Sam feels sad because he never found Lagsdens or went back home. He feels confused. Should he leave Kirk and be free, or stay on the farm and take care of his family? In the end, he just watches the pig leave and find the freedom he could not have. Sam had some strange slavery ideas. It was a very different movie, but that does not mean it was good. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.